South was created by Academy Award winner Paul Haggis, whose previous work included 30-something, Walker, Texas Ranger, and the celebrated but canceled Easy Streets.
Oh, he was the guy who did Due South. You're kidding, he did Due South? Wow, that's amazing. The guy who did Crash did Due South. What do you know about that?
Paul's insane, but brilliant.
That impresses us up here.
Everything he seems to touch has some sort of positive message to humanity.
You know, anyone can take a kind of fish out of water story and you'd think it would work, but Paul actually managed to inject it with this extraordinary heart.
And I think each episode had a message of sorts, and I love the way that he mixes humor with all his characters.
He's just such a terrific writer that the template for it was so good that it was not easy, but not impossible to replicate week after week.
Well, are you coming? You know, you let a wolf save your life, they make you pay and pay and pay.
The fact that there was a lot of ad-libbing and freedom for personal expression in the moment, if something came up, is probably due to Paul Haggis's leadership and not being too precious about his writing.
And and I mean, when I say he's insane in the best of all possible ways, he just have these completely loopy ideas that he would stick in, and because they were such good ideas, it would kind of open a big door, and you could kind of go down these paths into more crazy ideas.
She shot my hat, Ray. She shot you in the hat? I could feel air coming in through the hole. She shot you in the hat, all right. How's it look? Doesn't look good.
He's obviously a talented and intelligent writer, producer, director. I guess that's what you'd call him. But I think the extent to which we can claim him as a Canadian is becoming less and less tangible with every success that he has.
All right, this is the last one. We're in, we look, we're gone, all right?
I remember when Paul Haggis began gathering his cast around him, holding auditions in L.A. He seemed to have an idea about who he wanted from the start.
I was doing a thing called Tales of the City that Armistead Maupin wrote that we were shooting in L.A. And I think he really just saw a photograph and realized that I would look good in a big hat. I think that was probably it.
I don't think so.
He's so beautiful with one little screwed up tooth, which made him ugly enough to make him not too pretty. So of course he was, and he's so smart and everything. He was the perfect person to use.
He's a hero in the States, mostly in Florida. He is adored by women who just would love to have his autograph or meet him.
If you ever get to Miami, just ask for Rhonda.
You see that? Women always judge you by your shoes.
One of the most contested parts would be for the streetwise smart Alex sidekick.
My agent called me and said, Paul Haggis really wants you to come in, just to meet him. Just go in. I said, fine, I'll go.
I first auditioned for Due South probably 2 years before it started. I was in Los Angeles.
I read the script and I thought, wow, this is really funny, this is really good, but it's got way too many Canadian references.
And I auditioned for the role of the Chicago cop, which was Ray.
Their casting, the original cast, I was in the running for the role of Ray.
And I said the first 3 lines and I stopped and I said, I'm sorry, it's just not for me. Thank you. And I left, and Haggis, where'd you going? What's the matter? What's wrong? And I'm like, it's not you, it's great, thank you so much. It's just not, the character's not for me. But no, it is, you are Ray Vecchio, you are Ray Vecchio.
Come on, you mean me?
And it just kept coming back. It was one of those shows that you couldn't shake.
David Marciano eventually accepted the role of Ray Vecchio, while Camilla Scott became Inspector Meg Thatcher.
Meg Thatcher is an inspector. She is Fraser's boss. She's very straight-laced and by the book and desperately wants to run a good ship. And it seems to her like Fraser's constantly putting that way of thinking in jeopardy for her.
You're late.
Yes, there was a delay at the dry cleaners.
I thought true blue types like you didn't believe in excuses, Fraser.
Well, you're quite right, and I'm sorry for apologizing.
Ramona Milano played Ray's kid sister Francesca, the archetypal pretty but pesky one.
Oh, sorry, I didn't know you were in here.
The character of Francesca, I absolutely loved playing because she was a little bit of everybody.
Is he married? What?
She just kind of did what she saw fit. And so it was easy to fall in love with her. And of course, her faults were easy to love as well.
Hello, son.
Hello, Dad. How are you?
I'm dead, son. Other than that, do you mean?
No, that's what I was asking.
Oh, that's good.
Poignantly played by Canadian character actor favorite Gordon Pinsett, Sergeant Bob Fraser would remain a ghostly parallel presence through the 4 seasons of the show.
I thought you were permanent. Oh, son. Nothing's permanent.
Gordon Pinsent, if you're watching this show, you, sir, you are Canada. You're Canada. You're my favorite actor. I love him dearly. I think he's the best actor we got.
Ambitious and artistic Paul Haggis had big ideas for the show and wanted nothing but the best for his beloved creation.
Every episode he wrote was very big. It was a big episode. And the ones he directed were very big. Every episode that Paul directed went over budget by 30 to 40%. So basically at the end of season 1, they kicked him to the curb, you know, which is rare. I mean, you know, very rarely does a creator of a show be asked to step down. And he was asked to step down, and he did it pretty gracefully.
And then his sister, Kathy Slevin, and Jeff King ran it through the second year. And then when it shut down again, everybody went on to other things.
Been to the USA, Due South was unloved and unwanted, but its popularity in other territories meant that there was tremendous demand. Paul Gross became a celebrity and a firm family favorite.
Yes?
Paul Gross, Due South?
Paul Gross, everybody, from Due South.
A group of other countries for whom the show had been performing very well said, well, why don't we'll pick up where CBS left off and we'll help make it. And that's when I came back into, or, you know, I got involved in running it.
Reprieved with a little help from his UK friends at the BBC, Benton and Co. were back in business. It was at this point that Paul Gross took on more responsibility, not only starring in the show, but also producing and writing as well.
We'd be in the writing room with writers and talking about, well, could such and such happen? Well, why not? We can actually do anything we felt like doing.
My head! Just gotta get streamlined, Ray! How do you streamline your head?
Paul was highly technical and very able to get everything done the way he needed to.
I don't think I ever did a day under 16 or 17 hours. It just got to be insane.